4 years ago, when I moved to MIT, I thought we live in very challenging times. And the problem in all these crises, political crisis, mental health crises, crisis in our communities of communication polarization, not even to mention environmental and climate crisis and so on. The challenge in that is that the humanities and social sciences are not very well prepared at the moment to really help. They are often very academic disciplines that are very siloed, and for the humanities even they don't identify with really contributing action and social change in many ways. So what the MIT Global Humanities is, it's an incubator for the Humanities and Social Sciences 2.0 along 3 vectors. The first vector is we want to study the treasure house of human experience, all cultures. We want to base our models and theories, our concepts, our imagination, our stories on the stories and the treasure house of all cultures, so expansion in space. Also moving away from very presentist perceptions of what the world is, we need deep time. There has so much wisdom to learn from history. That's the second vector. And the third vector is to bring the deep time and space, that new global knowledge, to bear on the big questions of our time. And we do that also by working with the Geneva Science and Diplomacy Anticipator, a think tank that really goes for big impact in the world. And in that sense, we leverage our knowledge through that. So we are an MIT-based worldwide community of researchers, practitioners, students, and fans, and really more like a movement in really difficult times. Those kind of human connections and resonance around big topics makes us very unique in the landscape right now in terms of all kinds of other initiatives for human flourishing and planetary stewardship.
인문학이 오늘날 보통의 사람들한테 어떤 것을 말해줄 수 있을지 이런 것들이 늘 고민이었는데 MIT GHI나 저희 글로벌 인문학 연구원은 같이 고민하고 있는 글로벌 인문학이라는 것은 근대에 대한 반성이라고 할까요? 사실은 인류가 오랫동안 쌓아왔던 여러 문화 지혜 그런 것들 어떤 레거시 전통들이 있는데 그런 것들이 무시된 채 근대 이후에 그리고 현대 것들에만 어떤 사람들의 고민과 관심이 집중되는 것을 좀 반성하는 또 한 가지는 우리가 보통 생각하는 근대라는 것은 주로 서구 유럽의 일부 어떤 문화가 보편적인 근대라고 보통 인식이 되고 있는데 그런 부분들에 대해서도 아시아는 물론이고 아프리카, 인도, 남미 모든 세계에서 수천 년 동안 우리가 쌓아왔던 그래서 쌓여온 그런 지혜와 문화 이런 것들에 대해서 새롭게 고민하고 발견하고 살려내는 그래서 소통하는 그런 것들이야말로 인문학이 굉장히 중요한 역할이라고 생각합니다.
I write on mythology. And one thing I know that globally people understand mythology very poorly. And I think this knowledge is very important in a diverse world. People do not understand culture. Therefore, humanities, arts is studied in a very scientific way. AI is mathematical. It's based on statistics, it's based on patterns, it is based on data. It is based on measurable things. What about things that are not measurable? Jealousy is not measurable, fear is not measurable, anger is not measurable. We can call it AI, but it is a program. The insecurity is that which is coded into it. It doesn't exist, it's not real. It doesn't have imagination. Mythology is a realm of imagination, so it's the very opposite of AI. Imagination has no bounds, it just goes in every direction. It's not a recombination of facts, which is what AI does.
I think the Global Humanities Initiative is unique from my work in it's starting from the base level and then building from there. Most often when I'm approached by faculty, researchers, commercial entities, they have a thing, they want to make a game about it. And in this, I actually have a conversation before we've decided even what the game is or what the topic is. There's such a vast possibility space to play within, where we see things, we riff off each other.
The global part of GHI is very important, that we get to hear a broader chorus of voices. But I also think that in the project of the humanities, these ideas about where to find better solutions have always been a core. So I think it makes, for me, a lot of sense that I find so much resonance with other participants in this initiative.
What I'm most excited about these days is that our College of Liberal Arts is celebrating our 80th anniversary next year in 2026. We're very excited about this milestone. Anniversaries are celebrations of not only the past, but it's also a milestone for forging a path to the future. In this sense, the Global Humanities Initiative is very, very important as it serves as an inspiration for us to think about what we can do in the future and what our paths and directions will be.
It's STEM, the arts, and the humanities and social sciences. The reason why we put these things together is that although there has been a lot of interdisciplinary efforts, the humanities have never been brought in. There has been STEAM as a concept, STEM, and the arts. But STEMAH for me means is transformational for the way we research, for the way we teach, for the way we even perceive the world, and we try to change it. So what does STEMAH really mean? STEMAH is the Greek word for tree, and it is used by scholars of classical literatures like me to describe old versions of text and the way they actually branch out. So STEMAH means a tree, and it symbolizes the tree of knowledge, the unity of knowledge from STEM, the arts, and the humanities in many ways that's growing, into a bigger tree. So the reason why we are launching this today is because with STEMAH, we want to first actually inspire further disciplinary innovation, definitely. STEM being inspired by the humanities, AI, governance, values, and ethics, but also the humanities being inspired by STEMAH through AI techniques in philology and aesthetics and so on. Then we want to inspire all kinds of cross-disciplinary work, really, for human flourishing and planetary renewal. And then what's very distinctive is knowledge in action. We are developing a methodology of practice where we think about how to actually do very basic research on how human societies and human experience work, then actually developing tools based on that and bringing these tools into real action. I want to give one example for that. We are building a neurohumanities platform. For that, we go in 3 steps. We actually look in one lab we research in deep time and space what kind of manifestations of contemplative practices do we see in all kinds of different cultures. In the second lab, we actually try to understand with neuroscientists what is happening in the brain, what is happening with our body chemistry and our physiology when we engage in these practices. And once we have that understanding, we can go to knowledge in action and actually build wearables, build tools where people can actually perceive their own state of being, their stress levels, and work towards better self-regulation, co-regulation in the world, which is actually addressing, the mental health crisis. And we are aiming for something more. We are aiming not just for well-being, but really for flourishing, human thriving on this planet in very difficult times.
나에게 스테마란 오래된 지혜를 새롭게 살려내는 것. 지금 시대에는 정말 AI로 대표되는 첨단 과학기술이 끌어가는 것처럼 보이지만 인류는 계속해서 그 안에서 사람이 도대체 뭘 할 수 있을지 수세적으로 고민하는 그런 형국으로 보이지만 STEM이라는 것, 과학이라든가 과학기술 역시 인류가 오랫동안 쌓아온 문화 가운데 하나이고 당연히 인문학과 예술도 그렇다고 생각합니다. 그러니까 스테마라는 것은 새로운 것이 아니라 지금까지 쌓아온 인류의 지혜와 문명들을 총체적으로 다시 한번 바라보고 눈앞에 있는 과학기술만이 아니라 인문예술을 포함한 모든 것들을 같이 통섭해서 다시 생각해보는 그런 것이기 때문에 스테마라는 것은 결국은 과거부터 쌓여온 지혜와 문화들을 이 시대에 새롭게 다시 우리가 살려낸 그런 것이라고 생각합니다.
STEMAH for me is balancing the left and right brains. So the left brain, as recent studies have shown, is all about focus and problem solution, and it has a map of the world. But the right brain has more perspective. What is happening is STEM subjects are all about solution-oriented, short-term thinking, immediate solutions. It doesn't look at life as a perspective. And if you want the next generation of children to be more matured, you need to give them focus and perspective. Just STEM is not enough because that's only focus that makes them machines. It doesn't give them a wider perspective of life or what's going on in the world.
STEMAH is a bold initiative to reconceive knowledge production in service of planetary flourishing. It's an initiative that transcends boundaries between rigor, measuring and quantification and the kind of awe-inspiring opening to beauty that different disciplines bring together.
STEMAH is a new identity. We all know that identity is a very fluid concept. Especially in sociology, identity is looked upon as being very active. So through STEMAH, what we are doing is we are forging a new identity for the future. And one thing about STEMAH is that while the fields are individual, STEM, arts and humanities, they all have their unique aspects, but then together as a whole, they form an entity in itself and an identity in itself. So we are looking forward to further collaboration and being part of this STEMAH movement.
The University of the Future, for me, is a place that actually nourishes three types of intelligences. It's IQ, EQ, emotional intelligence. No? The third one is even more difficult. This is something we are coining at the Global Humanities, DQ, or diplomatic intelligence, that takes EQ, which is more individual, emotional intelligence, to a collective level. And it has to do with actually honing abilities to build trust, to build connection, to care for each other, to handle conflicts in ways that actually lead to better solutions for us and also for the planet.
미래 대학을 만드는 데 있어서 가장 중요한 것은 사람이다라고 생각합니다. 대학은 예로부터 사람이 모이는 곳이었습니다. 지금도 역시 마찬가지라고 생각합니다. 물론 지금은 다양한 온라인 공간에서 교육이 이루어지고 있지만 그 시대에 가장 다양한 전문가 집단이 모여 있고 매해 새로운 젊은이들이 들어오는 이런 높은 수준의 사람들이 모이는 공간은 흔치 않은 것 같습니다. 이 속에서 정말 다양한 분야의 전문가 집단들이 서로 소통하기도 하고요. 젊은 세대들이 그 안에서 함께 무언가를 만들어 나갈 수 있는 그야말로 어떤 놀이터와 같은 그런 대학은 여전히 지금도 필요하다고 생각합니다. 만약에 이런 대학이 사람들이 만나서 소통하는 그런 기능을 잃는다면은 그건 대학의 미래가 아니라 사실은 대학의 존재 가치가 없을 수도 있다고 생각합니다. 그래서 여전히 사람들이 만나서 함께 부딪히고 소통하는 곳이어야 된다고 생각합니다.
The University of the Future has to be STEMAH. It has to integrate the STEMAH and every other things in an integrated way, where one doesn't exist without the other. We need to create an ecosystem of dialogue, where science talks to technology, talks to engineering, talks to mathematics, talks to arts, talks to humanities, talks to social sciences, and they all talk to each other, not talk at each other. That is very important. I think dialogue, not debate, is the future. We've stopped focusing so much on the self, but realize that the definition of the self includes the other. So when the other is healthy, the self becomes healthier.
For me in the future, it's more interactive. It's more back and forth. It's not learning from, but learning with. It's not fully detached, but it's moving forward because of this human component and not this technological, not a purely technological component.
It's a space where we not only learn the knowledge that has been produced, but a space where we dare to dream, imagine, discuss how to use the scientific advances that we've cultivated up to now.
The most important thing in building the University for the Future is to do identity, as I just mentioned previously. In science and engineering, they do things, they experiment. In that sense, whereas in the humanities, we usually look at vicarious experiences and indirect experiences. So what the university has to do is create new values and to provide experiential learning for our students. So that's my vision for the future of the university.
I'm not an academic, but for me, any conversation when it is less about debate and winning and more about dialogue and learning in the classroom will make a huge shift in people's lives. And as educators, if one can just implement simply like that, where we are talking to students rather than reading assignments, I think that will make a huge difference because they start listening to each other. Violence won't help. I think dialogue will help.
Okay, I'm going to stick to the theme of identity. So in terms of the university and what we need to do for the future is to maintain our own identities, but also to have a collective identity and to do that collective identity as well. So actually STEMAH is a collective identity. Each field has their own individual identity, but as STEMAH, what we can do is forge something new for the future.
To make something new, we should know what routine is. The next step is to share and communicate and to spread our idea for future.
For me, it is doing STEMAH and the University of the Future at the MIT Global Humanities, an incubator for Humanities and Social Sciences 2.0, with actually the Compass of Human Flourishing and Planetary Stewardship. And we want to do this with our major partner, Korea University, who's actually amazingly aligned, which is a true gift and I think a karmic responsibility. So you are our amazing partners, and I so much look forward to taking STEMAH forward with you, and also really the University of the Future. Thank you for this collaboration. It means so much to me and to us at MIT.